To draw the great vessels of the heart, we're first going to draw a heart, always pointed a little bit to anatomical left. It's sitting right on top of the diaphragm. We section our heart into its 4 chambers, and arterial blood flow out of the heart is going to start with that left ventricle. First, we draw a big arch. This is the parts of the aorta. At the top, we draw our 3 main branches. The first branch splits into an additional 2 branches, so our branching off the aorta is not symmetrical. The parts of the aorta change names based on its direction. First is the ascending aorta, then the aortic arch, and then the descending aorta. Finally, we have the abdominal aorta. The descending aorta becomes the abdominal aorta when you cross the diaphragm. The other parts of the aorta also change names at this landmark, which is the sternal angle. You can't usually see that though, so really you can judge by when blood flow direction is changing. So for our 3 branches, first branch is going to be our brachiocephalic trunk. Second branch is the left common carotid artery. And here I thought I made a mistake, but actually I didn't. So our third branch is our left subclavian artery. Over off of our left brachiocephalic trunk, that's going to branch to form the right common carotid artery. And then our final branch over here, which is our right subclavian artery. So we finished our arteries. Now we can repeat the exercise using the veins. So starting with our heart sitting on the diaphragm, section our heart into the 4 chambers. Now we are going to be starting with the right atrium, which is where all of our venous blood is draining into. Right atrium has 2 large vessels attached to it. The superior one's going to split and then split again. So here's our basic pattern. The inferior vessel here is the inferior vena cava, and the superior vessel is the superior vena cava, both attached to the right atrium. The superior vena cava is going to split to form the left and right brachiocephalic veins. So this is asymmetric compared to the arteries. The brachiocephalic veins on each side will split to form the internal jugular veins and the subclavian veins. Those left splitting to left and rights to rights. We can see here how our pattern for the veins is symmetrical, which is different from the arteries. Now let's try drawing our arteries and veins side by side. So starting with our arteries, we have our simple branching pattern for the aorta, labeling the parts of it and our different vessels. We add in our veins just offset to the right of the arteries. Now I can label my vessels starting with the aorta. So I've got my ascending aorta, aortic arch, descending aorta, and my abdominal aorta changing names at the diaphragm. After that, I have my specific branches off the aorta, brachiocephalic trunk, left common carotid artery, left subclavian artery, then the branches off of the brachiocephalic trunk, moving into our veins. So we've got our left and right brachiocephalic veins, our internal jugular veins, and our subclavian veins, which I've labeled, but I kind of ran out of room. And there you go. Now you're ready to go practice your own drawings of the great vessels of the heart.